Welcome. I'm super happy and honored to have this very special broadcast because I have dear friends with me that make me very happy because they prepared amazing food. And one of them is coming back for the second time for this special event. Well, actually, the two, even though Danny is always here. But first of all, let's introduce Daniel Lozano, Danny for the friends.
Hi.
The chef from Carbón Cabrón, obviously. Also, Nitta, welcome. And he is the genius behind delicious beef called Wagyu Tesoro de Japón. Welcome. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, Claudia.
And a very, very special guest, Kentaro Shibayama, who is a guest chef that is going to be participating in the upcoming special dinner that will be taking place at Carbón Cabrón this coming May 31st. It is a special homage to Japanese food with, of course, the Mexican fusion and all the sense of Carbón Cabrón. So thank you so much for being here and welcome to all of you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Claudia. Thank you, Claudia.
This is the second year of Sumi Yaro. And
Yes.
obviously, last year was a huge success. But tell us, for those who don't know, what Sumi Yaro means, because it's very interesting, and also what they can expect in terms of the menu and the dining experience, because it's not just a tasting menu, it's a whole experience. Please tell us about that.
Okay, so Sumi Yaro, basically with the help from my friend Shaw, we managed to have this name, which means literally Carbón Cabrón in Japanese. It's Sumi and Yaro. It's really easy to get it. But yes, what we are trying to do this year that's a little bit different from last year's is that we are now focusing a little bit more in making more simple but more delicious dishes, which I believe that it's more like the Japanese style of cooking, when you have like simple stuff, few ingredients, but you make them express in their maximum level. So Shaw, I think that also you can help me out with this. What do you think there?
Sure. The dishes, it's going to be, as Danny told, it's going to be different from last year. Shibayama, Chef Shibayama is really a specialist in what we call washoku. Washoku is like a traditional Japanese food. Probably it's like super traditional with, beautiful dishes with, lots of effort in one piece of the dish. So probably what he's gonna cook, maybe most of you won't experience in the past because it's so traditional. It's more than the sushi that we can talk. So looking forward to collaborate with Kentaro and Carbón Cabrón. I'm so excited.
That is something that differentiates Japanese cuisine from others, in my opinion. It's precisely the ability to take simple elements and take them to their ultimate expression and turn them into a delight all on their own. It's like the perfect representation of one simple element. It's not like tons of complicated sauces. And the style that Chef Shibayama handles takes not only that, but then the presentation of the dish in itself to such a beautiful level of really bringing in all the elements, all your senses, because you're looking at something so beautiful and then you're going to eat that. It's like it tastes even better. Can you tell us a little bit about where that tradition comes from and how that is going to be reflected this coming May 31st at the Sumi Yaro dinner?
白山さん、今回、使う出すメニューについてちょっと説明してほしいと。
はい。今回の出すメニューの中で、なるべくだったらそのロスカボスのものを使って和食を表現していきたいと思っています。
Okay. So one of his idea is using very local ingredients in from Los Cabos. It's like fishes and stuff. So we can translate it into a Japanese cuisine, washoku, style.
That's beautiful. And we are so looking forward to tasting this. And it's going to be presented in 2 different menus. There's one that has 8 dishes and then one that has 12 dishes. And everything is served kind of like family style. Is that correct? Are you doing that
Yep.
style again?
Yes, because it's something that last year's it was really helpful for the service to make a more precise and more beautiful service. But also as last year's Sumi Yaro, some of the dishes will be everything is going to be at the center of the table, and some of them you're going to be able to grab your own portion, like if it was like a traditional Japanese small portion. But also some of them are going to be for sharing from that dish. So that's a way that you can play with the dishes, with the different courses, to interact with some of them more or not. And also, but something that is interesting is that in the Yaro menu, we are going to have in every single course, including dessert, something with Wagyu. So I think that's going to be also really special, really interesting to have.
That's the one we want to have then, everybody.
Yeah, of course.
You have
That's
to
the one you
order
want to have.
the Yaro menu.
Yeah, of course.
Then you get to have Wagyu in every single course. Let's talk about Wagyu. Wagyu, I think by now everybody knows what Wagyu is, but within Wagyu, there are different categories and different types of Wagyu. Can you educate us a little bit in terms of what differentiates the different types, the styles, the types of Wagyu that people are served at restaurants?
Okay, so if you talk about Wagyu, everything has a grading, A5, A4, and it's a combination of alphabet and letter. The alphabet describes the yield rate of the carcass, and the number describes the quality of the meat checked by visual. And as you can know, the most high demand is A5 Wagyu. But this is the point: the Wagyu we always bring is not controlled by the ranking. We always has improved our quality of the meat, because some of the Wagyu won't taste the meat, but we try to bring the meat that has a really firm taste of the red meat itself, so you can enjoy the Wagyu itself.
Now, I know you are passionate about fermentation, and if there is one cuisine that is very, very specific and also very complex in terms of the use of fermented sauces and products, is Japanese food. How is this going to be a wonderful opportunity for you?
Yes, as you know, Claudia, because we are friends and we also talk whenever you go to the restaurant. And as you know, last year I went to this internship with beautiful teacher Marco Shimizu. He's also in terms of fermentation a really, really educated person. And I was studying for almost 3 months about koji and all the sub-products of koji, as shoyu, miso, shio koji, all of this. So now this is a great opportunity to try some of those. We were making at Carbón our first homemade miso, which is really a type of shiro miso, the lighter one for you to make an example. And yes, I think it's going to be ready for this dinner, and we are using it for some of the dishes to tender a little bit more the meat, to season some vegetables, to marinate an eggplant. Also, I'm bringing our first test for shoyu, which is going to be it's not a traditional shoyu made out of only soybeans. But this shoyu is something that I learned last year in Berlin, and it's like a broad shoyu. It's a shoyu made out of bread, so it's super tasty. bread it's made from grains, from cereals. So basically, you also can inoculate the koji spores and make miso or shoyu out of it. So it's going to be really, really interesting. You'll see. We've been preparing some of these ferments for the past 3 months. So they're going to be in every single dish. As you know, that we like to do stuff in Carbón with fermented stuff.
Yeah.
And also it's a surprise for Sho because I want him to, and for also Chef Kentaro, because I want them to try and to give me their opinion about this. They're gonna have it maybe tomorrow, right? Sure, no, 2 days, Monday, I think.
Awesome.
So
I'm looking forward to tasting that. I can imagine the bread shoyu must be a little bit sweeter and rounder than the traditional.
Yes, you're imagining right. Yeah,
just from
you got that
hearing
right.
where it comes from, and I'm looking forward to tasting the miso. I am a huge fan of miso. I personally love the darker one, the one that's like a deep orange, almost brick color, that I know it takes forever to get to that point.
A couple of years, yes.
but so maybe for the Sumi Yaro of 2025, we'll have a dark miso.
Definitely.
And then, Chef Shibayama, what are you going to be preparing for us for this coming Wednesday at the Sumi Yaro dinner? Can you please talk about one of the dishes that you will be preparing?
島本さん、今回のイベントで、そのうち一つを代表して、その料理の説明してほしいと、どんなものですか？
わかりました。ちょっと僕の中で誰も食べたことないだろうなと思うのが、高菜の白線蒸しなんですけど、大根おろしと卵白を合わせて、それで蒸し込むんですけど、なかなかちょっとメキシコでもそういう料理って少ないかなと思いながら、ちょっと繊細な味なんですけど、しっかり、旨味を感じるような料理なんで、それはぜひ食べてもらいたいなと思ってます。
One of the dishes he's really excited to introduce Mexico is called Haksen Mushi of the fish. This is how they cook it. You know, they roast the fish with charcoal, and after that, they're gonna, put this roasted fish and cover it with grounded daikon and egg merengue, and he's gonna steam it for a while. He said it's a really, really uncommon dish, and he said he never found anything like this in Mexico. So I want the people in Mexico to try this for sure. It's gonna be a very delicate dish, but you can feel the strong umami of this dish.
I got daikon and I got umami from his answer. So I was like, okay, yes, that sounds good. Wonderful. How appropriate to have something that is roasted on coals, because he's going to be cooking at Carbón Cabrón. So Sumi Yaro all around. What an exciting opportunity to taste such truly traditional cuisine right here in Los Cabos. So everybody make note. It is this coming May 31st, next Wednesday, of course, at Carbón Cabrón. Reservations are required. You need to call 557403-1006. Again, the number 557403-1006. And we're going to be posting that here on the Facebook page so that you can also get the number from there and make your reservations. Don't miss this opportunity to taste traditional Japanese food with a Mexican twist, fermented sauces, and also definitely Wagyu, which makes everybody happy. And then you'll get to experience on your own what umami really is. And before we go, a quick description of what umami means. And some people say it's the fifth taste. In my understanding, it's what happens in your mouth and in your brain when you taste all the flavors and everything becomes completely like rounded and balanced, and that it's not just a flavor experience, but it's almost like a sensation of well-being. It's like whatever I'm eating, it's good for me and it makes me happy. So please, from your perspective, what is umami?
島本さん、旨味とは何ですか？
そうですね。簡単に説明すると、辛いだったり甘いだったりとかの感じるところの部分と違う奥行きと言ったらいいんでしょうか。 そういうふうなところを感じる部分が旨味になります。
As his explanation, there's if you taste something, there's like salty, sweet, something like that. But it's like more detailed. It's like more deeper side of what you feel in the mouth. Like as Claudia said, it's like making people you feel happy. It's really hard to explain, but it's like a more deeper taste of something.
Yeah. Yeah. And Sho, for you, what is umami? How would you explain it from your personal perspective?
Okay, in Japan, we really talk about umami, and if you break this down in scientific way, it's like the amino acids, right? That makes you feel tasty stuff. So what I understand is like it's between the explanation of what you feel in the mouth in scientific way, but everyone feels umami. So yeah, this is what I think of umamis. Yeah.
Awesome. Danny, what's umami for you?
Yes, I think I would have to agree with Sho and Kentaro. Amino acid scientifically would be something about amino acids and glutamate, specifically glutamate, which is this substance that is really, really hard to get out from a specific ingredients. And also scientifically, there are some ingredients that can have the ability to develop more umami than others, such as raw tomatoes, shrimps, meat, soy sauce, fish. And in most of these ingredients, if you look really, really deep inside of them, you will find that in the end, they kind of liberate some of these glutamate particles. And but also, I mean, I've read this in lots of places and from lots of friends, such as Sho, that in Japan it's not only about the scientific expression. Of course, it's more also in a combination with also the mind and feeling in your heart and soul that this creates. So I truly believe that, as Sho said, that it's a combination between the scientific explanation and what you really feel about eating,
Good. I was not so lost. So that's good. Excellent. An opportunity to experience umami, taste delicious food, and drink wonderful sake, which should be the topic for a whole other conversation, because sake on its own, it's like a whole culture and a world of its own.
Yeah.
But there's going to be amazing sake as well at this dinner. Make sure you make your reservations. Again, the number for reservations 557403-1006. Sumi Yaro at Carbón Cabrón this coming May 31st. Guys, thank you so much for your time.